guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, Lord willing, in today's video, I'm going to be reading my Bible. I'm going to be reading 4 chapters in Job, Lord willing. I hope you come along and enjoy it. This is for my physical Bible for right now. I don't know what book my youth group's reading, and I finished up Luke, so I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna wait, and I have youth group, Lord willing, tomorrow. So, this might be the last day. I know that I'm not gonna be reading my New International Version because I don't know, because I read that one because, and of course, I love the Word of God and Spirit, but I read it because my youth group's been reading it, and I want to follow along with them. So, okay, Job chapter 32, verse 14 to Job chapter 34, verse 21. But now, Job, listen to my words. Pay attention to everything I say. I open my mouth. I am ready to speak. My words come from an honest heart. I am sincere when I speak about what I know. The Spirit of God created me. The breath of God, all-powerful, gave me life. Answer me if you can. Get yourself ready and stand before me. I am just like you before God. I was also made out of clay. Don't be afraid of me. I will not be hard on you. But I heard what you have said. I heard every word. You said, I am pure and without sin. I am innocent and free from guilt. But God has found fault with me, and he considers me his enemy. He locks my feet in chains. He closely watches everywhere I go. But I tell you, you are not right in saying this. God is greater than we are. Why do you accuse God or not answering man's complaints? God does speak, sometimes one way and sometimes another. One second, I think I already read this. I could be wrong because sometimes we'll be on the same page, but I've already read that chapter. Okay, Job chapter 34, verse 21. Say a prayer for you. Job chapter 36, verse 28. Oh, no, wait. Job chapter 34, verse 21, and Job chapter 34, verse 22. Then Elihu said, Hear my word, you men who think you are wise. Listen to me, you men who think you know a lot. The ear tests words as the tongue tastes food. Let's decide for ourselves what is right, and let's learn together what is good. Job says, I am not guilty, but God has refused me a fair trial. Instead of getting a fair trial, I am called a liar. I have been seriously hurt, and even though I have not sinned. There is no other man like Job. He takes insults as if he were drinking water. He is around people who do evil. He spends time with wicked men. This is because he says it does not help a man to try and please God. So listen to me, you who can understand. God all-powerful can never do wrong. It is impossible for God to do evil. God pays a person back for what he has done. God gives him what his actions deserve. Truly, God will never do wrong. God all-powerful will never twist what is right. No one chose God to rule over the earth. No one put him in charge of the whole world. God could decide to take away his spirit and breath. If he did, all people would die together, and they would all turn back into dust. If you can understand, hear this. Listen to what I have to say. Can anyone govern who hates what is right? How can you blame God, who is both fair and powerful? God is the one who says to kings, you are worth nothing, and he says to important people, you are evil. God is not better to princes than other people. He's not better to rich people than poor people. This is because he made them all with his own hands. They can die in a moment, in the middle of the night. The rich are struck down, and then they pass away. Powerful people will die without man's help. God watches where people go. He sees every step they take. There is no dark place or deep shadow where those who do evil can hide from God. God does not need to watch people more closely. He does not need for men to come before him for judging. Without asking questions, God breaks powerful people into pieces, and he puts other people in their place. This is because God knows what people do. He defeats them in the night, and they are crushed. He punishes them for the evil things they do. He does it so that everyone else can watch. This is because they stopped following God. They did not care about any of his ways. God lets the cry of poor people reach him. He hears the cry of the needy, but if God keeps quiet, who can blame him? If he hides his face, no one can see him. But God still rules over both men and nations. He still keeps wicked men from ruling, and he keeps them from trapping others. But suppose such a man says to God, I am guilty, but I will not sin any more. Teach me what I cannot see. If I have done wrong, I will not do it again. So, Job, should God reward you the way you want when you will not change your heart and life? You must decide, not I. So tell me what you know. Men who understand speak, and wise men who hear me say, Job speaks without knowing what is true. His words show he does not understand. I wish Job would be tested completely because he answered like an evil man. Job has sinned, and now he turns against God. He claps his hands as an insult, and he speaks more and more against God. Job chapter 34, verse 22 to Job chapter 36, verse 27. Then Elihu said, Do you think this is fair? You say God will show that I am right, but you say to him, What good is it to me? I don't gain anything by not sinning. I would like to answer you, and I want to answer your friends who are with you. Look up at the sky and see. Look at the clouds so high above you. If you sin, it does nothing to God. Even if your sins are many, they do nothing to God. If you are good, you give nothing to God. He receives nothing from your hand. Your evil ways only hurt a man like yourself, and the good you do only helps other human beings. People cry out for help when they are in trouble. They beg for relief from powerful people, but no one asks, Where is God, my Maker? He gives us songs in the night. He makes us more clever than the animals of the earth. He makes us wiser than the birds of the air. God does not answer evil people when they cry for help. This is because they are too proud. He does not listen to their useless begging. God, all powerful, pays no attention to them. He will listen to you even less when you say you do not see him. He will not listen when you say your case is before him and you must wait for him. He will not listen when you say his anger never punishes, and that he doesn't notice evil. So Job is only speaking useless words. He says many words without knowing what is true. Job chapter 36, verse 27 to Job chapter 36, verse 28. I think we are about to read the third chapter. Elihu's speech continues. Elihu continued, Listen to me a little longer, then I will show you that there is more to be said for God's side. What I know comes from far away. I will show that God my Maker is right. You can be sure that my words are not false. One who really knows is with you. God is powerful, but he does not hate people. He is powerful and sure of what he wants to do. God will not keep evil people alive, but he gives troubled people their rights. God does not stop watching over those who do right. He sets them on thrones with kings, and he lifts them up on high forever. People may be bound in chains, or trouble may tie them up like ropes around them, but then God tells them what they have done. He tells them they have sinned by being too proud. God makes them listen to his warning. He commands them to change from doing evil. If they obey and serve him, the rest of their lives will be successful, and the rest of their years will be happy. But if they do not listen, they will die by the sword, and they will die without knowing better. People who have wicked hearts hold on to anger. Even when God ties them down with trouble, they do not cry for help. They die while they are still young. They die among the male prostitutes at the places of worship, but God will save suffering people by their suffering. He gets them to listen through their pain. God is gently calling you from the jaws of trouble. He is calling you to an open place of freedom. There he has set your table full of the best food. But now you are given the punishment evil people should have. Now you are being punished. Be careful. Don't be led away from God by riches. Don't let a promise of much money turn you away. Neither your wealth nor all your great strength will keep you out of trouble. Don't wish for the night. That is when people are taken from their homes. Be careful not to turn to evil, which you seem to want more than suffering. God does great things by his power. No other teacher is like him. No one has planned his ways for him. No one has said to God, You have done nothing. You have done wrong. Remember to praise his work. Men sing about it. Everybody has seen it. People look at it from far off. God is so great. He is greater than we can understand. No one can discover how many years he has been alive. God takes up the drops of water from the earth, and he turns them into drops of rain. Then the rain pours down from the clouds, and showers fall on people. No one understands how God spreads out the clouds. No one understands how he thunders from where he lives. Watch how God scatters his lightning around him. It even lights up the deepest parts of the sea. This is the way God governs the nations. This is how he gives us enough food. God fills his hands with lightning, and he commands it to strike its target. His thunder announces that a storm is coming. Even the cattle show that the storm is coming. One more chapter, I think. I could be wrong. Job chapter 36, verse 28 to Job chapter 38, verse 31. At the sound of his thunder, my heart pounds. It is as is. Sorry, I'm going to restart. Job chapter 36, verse 28 to Job chapter 38, verse 31. At the sound of his thunder, my heart pounds. It is as if my heart will jump out of my chest. Listen to the thunder of God's voice. Listen to the rumbling that comes from his mouth. He turns his lightning loose under the whole sky, and he sends it to the farthest parts of the earth. After that, you can hear the roar when he thunders with a great sound. He does not hold back the flashing when his voice is heard. God's voice thunders in wonderful ways. He does great things we cannot understand. God says to the snow, fall on the earth, and he says to the rain shower, be a heavy rain. With it, God stops everyone from working. That way, everyone knows it is the work of God. The animals take cover from the rain. They stay in their dens. The storm comes from where it was stored. The cold comes from the strong winds. The breath of God makes ice, and the wide waters become frozen. God fills the clouds up with water, and he scatters his lightning through them. At God's command, they swirl around over the whole earth. They do whatever he commands. God uses the clouds to punish people or to water his earth and show his love. Job, listen to this. Stop and notice God's miracles. Do you know how God controls the clouds and makes his lightning flash? Do you know how the clouds hang in the sky? They are the miracles of God, who knows everything. You suffer in your clothes when the land is made quiet by the hot south wind. You cannot stretch out the sky like God and make it look as hard as polished bronze. Tell us what we should say to God. We cannot get our arguments ready because we do not have enough understanding. Should God be told that I want to speak? A man might try to speak to God, but he would surely be swallowed up. No one can look at the sun when it is bright in the sky after the wind has blown all the clouds away. God comes out of the north in golden light. He comes in overwhelming greatness. God all-powerful is too high for us to reach. He has great strength. He is always right and never punishes unfairly. That is why people honor God. He does not respect those who say they are wise. I'm going to check and make sure I read 4 chapters. I'm super excited. I love reading the book of Job. I think I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more chapters to read. So I probably will Lord willing, I could be wrong, but if I only have 5 chapters left, then I will probably finish it up tomorrow because I typically read 4 chapters, but I'm going to read 5. Oh, okay. Yeah. And also last time I made a video, so also ask him, we give me a secret if I not be able to match the